Hitler's lost gold. The snow fell heavily across the Bavarian Alps as the Third Reich collapsed around itself. Germany was dying. To the east, Soviet forces crushed their way toward Berlin, street by street. From the west, American tanks rolled through ruined villages and burning cities. The skies belonged to Allied bombers now, and every night the earth shook beneath explosions. But hidden beneath the chaos, another operation was unfolding. In February 1945, deep inside the Reichsbank in Berlin, Nazi officials worked frantically beneath dim lights, while bombs thundered overhead. Crates were dragged across marble floors. Steel doors slammed shut. Officers shouted over the noise of distant air raids. Inside the vaults sat the wealth of a continent. Gold bars stolen from the national banks of Belgium, Poland, Holland, Greece, Austria, and Czechoslovakia. Coins stripped from conquered nations. Jewelry stolen from terrified families. Wedding rings ripped from fingers. Gold teeth pulled from the mouths of the dead. The Nazis had robbed Europe. Now, with Germany collapsing, Hitler's inner circle feared the Allies would seize everything. Orders were issued immediately. Move the gold. Under armed guard, convoys departed Berlin in secrecy. Trucks loaded with treasure disappeared into the darkness, while the capital burned behind them. Some of the gold traveled to a hidden salt mine near the town of Merkers. The mine stretched endlessly beneath the earth, thousands of tunnels. Deep underground, workers sealed enormous chambers behind thick walls and stacked the treasure inside. Gold bars rose in towering piles. Sacks filled with foreign currency lined the floor. Diamonds, paintings, silver, and priceless artifacts were packed tightly into hidden rooms. And then came the personal belongings: suitcases, children's toys, eyeglasses, evidence of horrors too terrible to fully comprehend. When American soldiers finally discovered the chamber in April 1945, they stood speechless beneath the flickering lights of the mine. Yet even then, something was wrong. The numbers didn't add up. Enormous amounts of gold were still missing. Another fortune had vanished. The trail led south to the Bavarian Alps. An elite unit of Alpine troops had received secret orders. Hundreds of sacks were loaded onto mules. The mission was simple: hide the gold. Fanatical officers dreamed of a final resistance, a hidden Reich that would survive underground. The resistance never came. Hitler killed himself in Berlin. Germany surrendered, but the gold stayed hidden. For decades, rumors spread. Old villagers whispered about buried treasure. Treasure hunters searched caves with maps and metal detectors. The Nazi war machine had depended on stolen gold. To pay for critical resources from neutral countries, the Nazis used gold. Swiss banks became the silent middlemen. Inside Zurich, Nazi bullion was quietly exchanged and transferred through secret financial channels. The gold was melted down, recast, made anonymous, clean. No one could prove where it had come from or who had died for it. At Auschwitz, the machinery of theft had reached its most horrifying form. Prisoners arriving were ordered to leave behind everything they owned. Every gram mattered. The Nazis catalogued it all with terrifying precision: names, numbers, amounts of gold extracted from each prisoner. That is what makes Hitler's lost gold so haunting. It is not merely treasure, it is the remains of shattered lives, the wealth of murdered families. Somewhere, perhaps beneath stone and snow in the Bavarian Alps, a forgotten chamber may still wait in darkness, filled with gold no one was meant to find.